Public engagement is really important part of what we do as academics for two main reasons. One of them is that it's a duty. So much of what we do here is publicly funded. For some of us, all of what we do is pretty much publicly funded. But anybody involved in university is going to be benefiting so much every day from public funding. And it's something that I think is a very important quid pro quo for that is that people who are giving us this money out of their own pockets get something back for it and actually get to find out what we're working on, what we're doing, why it matters.
I applied for the summer school because I was really interested in finding new ways of engaging the wider audience when it came to my research. My research is in urban spaces and contemporary poetry, and I have always felt that understanding our sense of place in the world can really inform the way that we live. And as a result, that led me to want to engage with the wider audience.
I think every evening I want to go away and explore a little bit more about what we've been learning that day. Just processing every new medium, trying to decide what would fit with my particular area of research or my ideas. So it is intense and it is overwhelming, but all really positive.
I really enjoyed the session on the museums on the first day, particularly because it's a platform that I had never really thought about to use for my own public engagement. I've always really loved being in museums, going to them, looking at exhibitions. I was always attracted to them because of the spatial aspect specifically, but I never really connected the dots in terms of how I could use it for my own research.
It was absolutely brilliant learning how to give a better presentation. When you're doing presentations, you don't think that the PowerPoint's important, and to learn that the way that you're able to disseminate your project isn't something I'd thought about. I also thought yesterday's sessions were really useful in making me realise that maybe my DPhil project doesn't have much to add in the way of public engagement, but I as a researcher might myself.
And then I think the most recent one on kind of filming and pitching your ideas and trying, understanding how to write a proposal and to fit your work into a format that would be feasible to a production company.
Hearing what other people think about my research and just getting feedback from other researchers outside of my department. When someone genuinely is like, oh, that's interesting, it's such a motivational, supportive environment to be in.
Being able to explain something on a level that everyone can understand is hugely important for clarifying our own ideas as well.
If you want to do any kind of public engagement, if you've been thinking about getting your research out there, this is really inspiring, especially if you have no clue. You get introduced to so many different ways to get it out there. If you have some ideas but you're not sure what to do with them, then you're very quickly helped to develop those.
With all the speakers providing their emails and their contacts, I feel there's like so many people within the university now that I had no idea of, that they existed, that I could now reach out to.
I would definitely recommend this to other humanities students to do in the future, because I think oftentimes we get really caught up in just focusing on writing articles and going to conferences, and we really don't think about the potential that our research really has to offer a lot more to people out there. And so I would definitely recommend it to others in the future.
I mean, it forces you to think about who is my audience. I don't like the idea of only writing for an academic audience and then writing for a niche within that academic audience of people who also are working on similar topics. I think the point of being an academic is to, you conduct your research in order to make it available to other people who otherwise wouldn't have come across that information.
People say sometimes that research can be a lonely business, that you're just by yourself doing research, but it doesn't have to be like that. And this is one way to step out of that and show what you're actually working on.